What if the first thought you had upon waking up today could completely change how the rest of your day unfolds? What if you could transform your stress, your worries, and your frustrations simply by starting with gratitude? The power to shift your entire mindset is right within your reach. What if I told you that starting your day with a thankful heart, especially towards God, could turn every moment into a blessing? In today's video, we're going to explore the incredible power of starting your day with gratitude. Specifically, gratitude towards God, and how it can completely transform your life. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you. It's about shifting your entire mindset and aligning your heart with God's goodness right from the moment you open your eyes. You might be wondering, how can a simple habit like gratitude really change everything? Well, when you begin your day with a thankful heart, it sets the tone for everything that follows. It helps you to focus on what's good, even when life feels overwhelming. This is more than just positive thinking. It's a powerful spiritual practice that invites peace, joy, and God's presence into every part of your day. But how do we start this practice? How do we go from feeling overwhelmed to feeling grateful? Let's dive in and see how starting your day with gratitude can not only transform your outlook but also bring you closer to God. Gratitude has a profound impact on both our hearts and our minds. It's not just a feel-good emotion, it's a mindset that changes the way we experience everything around us. When we wake up and choose to focus on what we are thankful for, we rewire our brains. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude activates the part of the brain that promotes happiness, reduces stress, and improves our overall sense of well-being. But beyond the science, there's something deeply spiritual about gratitude, especially when we direct it toward God. In the Bible, we are encouraged over and over again to give thanks to God for all He's done. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5:18, it says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." Gratitude, as a spiritual practice, isn't about waiting until everything is perfect or going our way. It's about recognizing and acknowledging the countless blessings that God has already given us, even in the midst of struggles. When we start our day with gratitude, we are inviting God into our hearts right from the start. Imagine waking up, instead of rushing into the chaos of the day, or immediately thinking of everything that needs to be done. What if you paused for a moment to thank God for the gift of another day, for the breath in your lungs, for the people in your life, and for His unwavering presence? This simple shift in perspective can change everything. Gratitude helps us to see things clearly. It helps us focus on God's goodness rather than our challenges. Instead of allowing stress, worry, and anxiety to take the lead, we choose to center ourselves on the blessings we already have. And when we focus on those blessings, we start to feel God's peace settle over us. It's like a spiritual reset, a way to start the day not with a heart full of anxiety, but with a heart full of thankfulness. By making gratitude a habit, especially first thing in the morning, we begin to see the world through a new lens. We begin to notice the small blessings that we might have overlooked before. The beautiful sunrise, the warm cup of coffee, the sound of birds outside your window. These are all little gifts from God, and when we thank Him for them, we invite His presence into every moment of our day. This simple act of gratitude draws us closer to Him and opens the door for His peace and joy to fill our hearts. But here's the challenge. How often do we wake up feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or simply exhausted before the day even begins? The alarm goes off, And suddenly we're hit with 1,000 things to do, deadlines to meet, and worries about the future. It's easy to slip into a negative mindset when we feel like we're already behind before we've even started. Our minds naturally gravitate toward what's wrong or what's lacking, whether it's stress at work, strained relationships, or personal struggles. The busyness of life can drown out the quiet moments that should be spent in gratitude. Instead of waking up with peace, we often wake up with anxiety. This is where the power of gratitude truly comes into play. Without intentionally starting our day with a focus on what's good, it's easy to let the chaos of the world determine our emotional state. You might feel like you don't have the time or energy for gratitude, especially when things feel heavy. But this is precisely when gratitude is most needed, when life feels like it's throwing everything at you. Gratitude is the anchor that can keep you grounded. It's a challenge to break the cycle of waking up with stress and moving straight into our to-do lists. But what if, instead of jumping into the chaos, we paused for a few moments to acknowledge God's presence and blessings? It doesn't take long, but the shift it creates is powerful. The problem isn't that we don't have things to be grateful for, it's that we're not paying attention to them. We're too busy or distracted to notice the countless blessings in front of us every single day. Gratitude requires us to slow down and recognize God's goodness, even when everything around us feels out of control. So, the real challenge is this: can we choose gratitude in the face of life's stresses? Can we train our minds to focus on what's good and trust that God's presence is with us, no matter what the day holds? The more we make gratitude a habit, the more we allow God to transform the way we experience each moment, each task, and each challenge. It's about starting with a grateful heart and letting that gratitude shape everything else. Now, let's explore how we can make gratitude a daily practice, even on the busiest or most stressful days. The first step is to make it a priority. And the easiest way to do that is to start your morning with it. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to sit down for an hour of reflection. It can be as simple as taking a moment before you get out of bed to thank God for the day ahead. Start by thanking Him for the small things: your family, your health, the fact that you woke up to a new day. These simple moments of gratitude set the tone for the rest of your day. One powerful practice is keeping a gratitude journal. When you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed at night, jot down 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be huge. Maybe it's a good conversation you had, a moment of peace in the middle of a busy day, or even the warmth of a cup of coffee. The point is to actively notice the blessings in your life. This exercise trains your mind to focus on the positive, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. But beyond journaling, you can also start incorporating gratitude into your prayers, instead of rushing into requests or worries. Begin by thanking God for His faithfulness, His love, and His provision. In Psalm 104, it says, "Enter His gates with thanksgiving and His courts with praise." That's not just a command, it's an invitation. Gratitude is a way of approaching God with humility and recognition of His goodness. When you begin your prayer time by thanking God, it helps you refocus and realign your heart with His. It's a reminder that, no matter what's going on, He is still good, and He is always with you. Another way to make gratitude a habit is to intentionally express thanks throughout your day. Whether you're at work, with family, or out in the world, take a moment to thank God for the little things. Maybe it's the opportunity to serve someone, a chance to make a difference, or the beauty of nature around you. By constantly looking for things to be grateful for, you begin to create a mindset of thankfulness that influences every area of your life. It's about choosing to see the blessings, even in the middle of challenges. But here's the key. Don't wait for the perfect moment to feel grateful. Life will always have its ups and downs. And if we only focus on gratitude when everything is going well, we'll miss out on its power. Gratitude is most transformative when we practice it during the difficult moments. When stress, anxiety, or frustration arise. That's when you need gratitude the most. It's not about denying the hard things in life, but about choosing to see beyond them. You may not be able to control your circumstances, but you can control your response. And gratitude shifts your perspective, making space for peace and joy even in the chaos. So, if you're wondering how to get started, remember that gratitude doesn't have to be perfect. It's not about making sure you get it right. It's about creating a habit of recognizing God's goodness in both the big and small things. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And as you start each day with gratitude, you'll begin to notice the difference it makes in your mindset, your relationship with God, and your ability to face whatever comes your way. Imagine waking up tomorrow, not overwhelmed by what lies ahead, but filled with peace and anticipation for the day. You start with a simple prayer of gratitude, acknowledging that God has already given you so much, and that alone transforms your mindset. Suddenly, the things that once felt like burdens become opportunities for growth. The challenges that seemed daunting now feel like stepping stones, as you trust that God is with you through every single one. This is the power of gratitude. It shifts your heart and your perspective in an instant. It's not about denying the difficulties in your life, but rather choosing to focus on what God is doing in the midst of them. When we choose gratitude, we open our hearts to God's peace and joy. Even in the chaos, it's like flipping a switch from a mindset of scarcity, stress, and negativity to one of abundance, hope, and faith. Gratitude doesn't just change your attitude, it transforms your whole outlook on life. When you begin with gratitude, you invite God into your day in a powerful way. His peace fills the space where anxiety once lived. His joy replaces frustration, and His love overwhelms the insecurities and worries that try to take hold of your heart. The difference is clear. When you start with gratitude, you step into the day not as someone who is fighting through challenges, but as someone who is already victorious, because you're walking with God. And here's where the real transformation happens. You start noticing more things to be thankful for. The more you practice gratitude, the more you see God's hand in everything. The beauty of a sunrise, the laughter of a friend, the comfort of a quiet moment. These aren't just coincidences. They're signs of God's love and presence in your life. And as you thank Him for the little things, your heart becomes more attuned to His voice, and your connection with Him deepens. The more you practice starting your day with gratitude, the more it becomes a natural part of who you are. It's not just something you do, it's something you become. You become a person who chooses to see God's goodness in every situation, who chooses to trust His plan, no matter what the day brings. And when you walk through life with a heart full of gratitude, you carry that peace, that joy, and that hope with you wherever you go. So, tomorrow, when you open your eyes, try this. Take a deep breath. Thank God for the gift of another day, and watch how everything begins to shift. You may not be able to control everything that happens, but you can choose how you respond. And starting with gratitude, that's the key to transforming your day, your life, and your relationship with God. Starting your day with gratitude is not just a practice, it's a way of life. It's about making the decision every morning to turn your heart toward God, acknowledging His goodness, and setting the tone for the day. As you continue this practice, you'll find that gratitude becomes more than just an action. It becomes a mindset, a perspective that colors everything you do. Each day, you'll start to notice the blessings you might have missed before. The way the sunlight filters through the trees, the smile of a stranger, the quiet moments of peace amidst the noise. Gratitude opens your eyes to see God's fingerprints in every part of your life, making you more aware of His constant presence. The beauty of gratitude is that it doesn't just impact your relationship with God, it also transforms your relationships with others. When you begin each day with thankfulness, you become a more patient, more compassionate person. Your ability to forgive increases because you start to see the bigger picture, the way God's grace has been so freely given to you. Instead of reacting with frustration or resentment, you find yourself responding with kindness and understanding because your heart is already full of thanks. And here's the thing. Gratitude doesn't just impact your emotions or attitudes, it can literally change your circumstances. When you start with a thankful heart, you open the door to God's blessings in ways you never imagined. The peace you receive from gratitude shifts your energy, and that energy has a ripple effect. When you walk into a room, people notice. When you face challenges, you face them with a calm confidence that comes from knowing God is in control. Gratitude gives you the strength to navigate even the most difficult situations with grace and peace. This isn't just about feeling good in the moment, it's about building a foundation for a deeper, more intimate relationship with God. The more you focus on what you have to be thankful for, the more you connect with Him. Gratitude draws you closer to God because it acknowledges His goodness, His provision, and His presence in your life. When you begin to practice gratitude, you're not just inviting peace into your day, you're inviting God's love and light into every part of your life. And as you do, you'll see how His presence transforms not only your outlook, but your entire experience of the world. Starting each day with gratitude is the key to unlocking a life filled with joy, peace, and purpose. It's the small, powerful habit that has the potential to change everything. When you choose to begin with a thankful heart, you're choosing to walk in the fullness of God's blessings. And in doing so, you'll find that the more grateful you become, the more you experience His presence in ways you never imagined. If this message has sparked something in your heart, then I encourage you to put it into practice tomorrow. When you wake up, take a moment to thank God for the gift of another day. Start with the simple things, your breath, your family, the quiet moments, and the blessings you have right now. And as you do, watch how your day begins to shift. Notice how your mindset changes, how your peace grows, and how you begin to see the world through a lens of gratitude and grace. The transformation won't happen overnight, but as you commit to this daily practice, you'll begin to experience God's presence in every moment. If this resonated with you, and you want to continue learning about how gratitude and other spiritual practices can change your life, be sure to check out our next video. Don't miss out on the journey of deepening your connection with God and seeing the blessings He has for you every day.